Hello, Pisces. How are you guys doing tonight? Oh, actually, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever. I'm actually filming this in the evening. And yes, you are watching a recording because I am getting ready to go on vacation. So this week will be recorded, so no live chats or popping in. However, I am going to be on vacation and I might be popping in just impromptu kind of a thing. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. You'll know when I'm coming on. I'm not doing any thumbnails. And so I will just be popping on. So either from Universal Studios or Disney World. So we'll see where that is. Definitely, let's see, the 28th through the 4th of July is when we're doing this. So happy 4th of July if you're in the United States. And this is going to be your intuitive tarot for that week, along with some astrology and numerology if you're new. So I appreciate you popping in. If you're new, welcome. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you are new, if you enjoy what you see. All right. So let's get started, folks. And folks, boy, well, my aging myself, aren't I? And you get the rare opportunity to see me without makeup. I am actually packing, and I said, I've got to get these readings out, and I need to do that before I go any further. So, definitely here. Now, let's see, is there anything going on? Oh, I did do a full moon reading on the 22nd. This is going to be really important to watch if you haven't watched it, because what's going on with that full moon is not so much as important as the retrograde. There's a lot of things going on with the retrogrades. There's a lot of some kinds of conflicts, lots of emotions and feelings. There's 4 planets in retrograde. So please watch the full moon for the end of June, because that'll go into 2 weeks of July as well. So I hope that you take a look at that. All right. So our first card out, for those of you who are brand new, I picked 3 oracles. First one's divine. Second one is current energies. Third one is future energies. And the reason why I picked the divine, some people do past or current past, that kind of thing. But for me, I get all my downloads and information from divine or whoever he chooses to send through from the second dimension. And so this is really important. So when I do my little prayers before my readings, this card's for you. So if you're asking questions, you're on the fence about something, you're struggling through something, or you don't quite understand something, that is why I choose the divine. It's his message coming into you. So maybe it will resonate with you, I would hope. But if it doesn't mean that anything else will not. So hang in there. All right. So the butterfly is the divine's card. This came up actually, I think, in Capricorn. And it is about beauty and the number 7, which we know that the number 7 is about potential and ambition, right? But this is about a transformation process. Again, the planets and the astrology and the retrogrades, this is all about transformation. I almost sound like a broken record because this whole month has been about transformation. Okay. So this is your process and where you're at in this transformation. Or if you're in the beginning, you're in the middle, you're in the end, and somebody's saying transformation for what? So a lot of the times we are always, well, I can't say sometimes, we're always growing, always growing. And so it depends on where you're at. If you're growing to the next level, if you're trying to work through some issues, if you're trying to heal, those kind of things, it all just depends on where you're at. It's really hard because this week the energies are all about the 28th through the 4th is about disruptions. So it means a distraction or something's going to try to get you off course so that you're not paying attention and that you get off course. So it's sort of a time to put those blinders on like the race horses do so that they can keep the outside noise out. 9, 10, and 12. And that's definitely the number 3, being that you need to acknowledge that this is happening and to acknowledge that there is too much noise there and to hone in on that. Now that is part of the astrology too, because, and this is interesting because the next card out is the hawk. This is the future energy. However, I look at the astrology to this, and this is the retrogrades for sure. it is time of messages and omens. Please go back and watch about the retrogrades. I think I talk more about the retrogrades than I do the full moon, because this is about not only a transformation, but it is about what do you call that? Control versus truth, or untruth versus truth. There's also about super, super sensitive with Pisces there. We've got Saturn and Jupiter and all this going on, these energies. But this message in this energy is about the number 2. The number 2 may bring a partnership. It may bring something together, or it may split it. So this with the hawk is the one carrying the message, sort of like the raven does, right? So let's see what the cards have to say for you. And then if there isn't any love per se in the reading, because a lot of the time divine has a message to work with your inner self, or maybe communication, or somebody else, maybe it's a relationship or whatever. Is that hair flying behind me? Sorry about that. I have a fan going because the rest of the house has air conditioning, but this room doesn't. So I have a fan going. So if you're hearing a humming, it's a fan. So definitely we want to see where this is going to go. All right. I'm sort of a little bit mellow today. I went to an acupuncturist for the first time, last week for my leg, because my leg swelling is just not going down. Get that, and then I'm going to Universal Studios, and I got to walk around. I can't even shuffle. And the thing is that it was good. It was pretty interesting. If you've not been to an acupuncturist, it's been pretty interesting. Again, I can't shuffle tonight. I'm not even going to do that way anymore. But it was very interesting being an empath. She was like, you can't feel that. And I said, yeah, I can. You're putting the needle in here, but I'm feeling it over here. And then one time she was just doing touch. And I says, oh, I feel that over in my back by my shoulder. And she goes, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. She goes, because apparently that's where it was supposed to feel it. She goes, I haven't even put in a needle. But today she did cupping. So that was very interesting. And my leg actually shrunk a little bit. So hopefully the cupping is going to work. So we'll see. All right. Oh dear. Okay. So I'm going to look at this current past card a little bit. And the current past card is somebody is really overthinking a lot of things. Somebody's really putting a lot of energy into something here that they're paying way too much attention to. But I can understand, because I believe it's a place of healing, that maybe this was a breakup. Maybe they lost somebody. Maybe that this is a time of something that happened that really brought them down. This could be a thing with a lost job. Maybe somebody was not very honest with them. Again, this is going to be about control and truth with these planets. And even though Mercury retrograde left us on the 22nd, you're not going to see more of the optimism. You're still going to see some ripples of that through about the second week of July. Why? Because you have to think of a planet that is completely, it never really stops, but it's just about stopped. And the thing is, it's so powerful when they're stopped, or at the slowest that they can go, that when it goes direct, which means it's turning the other way, then it takes a lot of energy, and it takes time to ramp up and get that speed up. So it takes about a couple weeks. So that's why this is going on. So you're probably still going to have a little bit of communication problems. Maybe your computers are glitching, your phone's glitching, your technology things are going to be giving you a little bit trouble. But this here is the number 4. So your foundation's been rocked a little bit. Somebody definitely, I feel like somebody is really, really sad. And I feel like they have gotten a broken heart that somebody has passed on. They're still there, guys. They're still there. They're still around. Their energies are still around. So talk to them if they are passed on and this is you. They are around. And I've had one-on-ones with my mom and my brother who's gone. Not so much with my brother because it's been a lot more years, but I'm sure he's got things to do over there. But they're around. All right. So definitely it has been really hard, and acknowledging that has been really, really hard. Now this could be also a loss of a relationship. You know, I don't know if this is, and it also could be a betrayal of somebody breaking a promise, maybe a financial promise, maybe there was a something to get together with, that kind of a thing with them, with another person. So maybe this had to do with, I don't know, that it's like a house, or maybe I don't know, you were supposed to get a loan for something and it didn't go through, and that really turned the pages. So whenever anything like this happens, whenever you have something that is hard or really sad, or something that is just devastating to you, it's something that this is what the divine is talking about this transformation, is to look at it and yes, it's happened, and take a minute to grieve and see what's going on. Because no matter, even if you lose a job, you know, you grieve. You lose a pet, you grieve. You could lose a car that you absolutely loved, and you grieve it, but it's not as much as grieving loss of a person. However, there is still lessons in this. There's definitely lessons in everything. And if we keep overthinking it, we cannot grab the lesson. So try to release a little bit from that, and we'll go from there, because you can't hear anything. I was doing a coaching session, and the person was really, really tired. And so I said, you know, you got to get some rest, because when you're so low, you can't really catch the vibrations and the energies the way that you should be getting them, and you might not even get them. Your intuition might be completely off and you can't hear it because you're too tired. It does take energy to be able to do those kind of things. Again, during this week, because of this week, there's some distractions. And the thing with disruptions and distractions is that you've got to be on your game. You cannot overthink. You've got to be on the mark and on your game. So this is going to be a challenge for somebody. For other people, you know what, they're over that hump of saying, okay, yeah, well, it hurt a little bit, but now they're on to the game a little bit. And so they're like, okay, fine. But however, how far are you on the game? You know, are you going to be, if you're playing chess, check, or are you going to be checkmate? So you have to have that momentum going forward. That has to be in truth. Okay. That has to be focused on one thing, going for the gusto, making sure that you're there, in, what do you call that? In person, in mind, in spirit. So you're not just doing something in your mind somewhere else. So that's the disruption, that you're actually somewhere else while you're physically doing something. You're not present. So somebody is not present in something that they need to be focusing in on, because they're being disrupted by outside thoughts. It's sort of like too much mind chatter, too much mind or talking to self, and not being able to focus. This is going to be really, really important, because as I said, this distraction is going to create some turmoil because you didn't pay attention. So this is the truth versus an illusion, control versus truth. This is the retrogrades going on. Mostly, I think that is going to be, Saturn is very limiting and Uranus is very outgoing and individual. So there is a lot of this going on. There's a like a fight between being able to spread your wings and then having to be limited to a point. So this is where the disruption is. This is where the temptation to take you off course. I just keep hearing that somebody's trying to get you off course. Definitely a lesson in this. Definitely something to be learned, because like I said before, there was messages coming in this future. But I believe that this message is not only for that, but it's all for all three. So this is a process that's happening right at this moment, that has started or is about to start. And this is like, okay, yeah. So you're going to have the opportunity to look at it in a positive nature. That's the lesson. Are you going to learn to look at it in a positive nature? Or are you going to let the lower vibration say, you know what, this is crap, this is wrong. You're going to complain and moan and groan. Whereas in a positive manner, you just say, okay, what can I learn from this? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? How could I do it better? Did I have the knowledge? Okay, I didn't have the knowledge. I need to go get more knowledge so that I don't go through this again. Okay. So this is really important because this is sort of a weak point for you, because sometimes, I don't know who this is for, sometimes this person is actually acts like they know how to do something when they really don't. And then they have to fake it until they make it. And then that creates more problems because that's the number 5 and the number 3. 3 of Pentacles is actually trying to learn something, but it's sort of like somebody who's in class and they don't listen, and then they go to take the test, then they try to fake it until they make it or cheat. It's sort of in that way. Okay. But this is your weakness. You got to really listen. Somebody's got to really listen and really focus. Somebody has the potential to do so much, but their focus is completely off. It's out here and it's being disrupted. All right. So we need to actually make sure that that disruption goes bye-bye. So hopefully we don't see the devil card. This is the challenge card. This is the eight of wands. Now the 8 of wands is a lot about communication. So maybe somebody's not quite a good communicator. Maybe they didn't have the communication skills. Maybe they haven't learned how to do that. I don't know if this is a relationship or a coworker or somebody at work or somebody in school. I don't know if this is a relationship. We'll find out here in a minute when I get some clarifications. However, the communication is really sort of gone awry. However, there's more communication coming, and it's going to come fast. So I think you've got to really be on your game, or whoever this is for has to be on their game and ready, because you're not. Okay. This could also mean travel for somebody, coming really quick, which is part of, I think that was Pluto retrograde. No, that was the Jupiter's retrograde. So a lot of travel coming in, a lot of travel coming in for somebody. This is beautiful because you're going to travel and you're going to have all kinds of things going on. Now this might be travel for work. This might be travel for maybe pleasure. I don't know, because we've got all different kinds of things going on here for Pisces. A lot of emotions going on here though, guys. A lot of feelings, very sensitive time. It's like somebody's sort of weepy and they don't understand why. Somebody gets angry and they don't understand why. It's like, why am I so upset? Why am I full of anxiety? Why am I frustrated? I have no reason to be frustrated. So why am I frustrated? What's going on? You know, that kind of a thing. It's the retrograde. Because the Pisces, it's showing extremely, extremely sensitive because of the Pisces energy in there. All right. So don't be surprised with that going on. All right. So I'm going to get some clarification here onto what this number 3. Sorry, I'm thinking numerology. What the 3 of Swords is. And I'm going to get basically, I think, let me see which ones I want to clarify here. I'm going to clarify the 3 of Swords, and then I'm going to clarify actually the Hawk, because I would like to know what kind of partnership or message is coming in that has to do with someone's future, and what message and omens that is coming in for that. So let's get the 3 of Swords. This looks like we've got the High Priestess, the 8 of Pentacles, and the World. Eight of Pentacles and the World. So, with the High Priestess in here, this is definitely a soul, a spirit thing. And I really do believe that somebody's really disappointed because this has to do with money, but it also has to do with travel, or it has to do with something that they were promised and it didn't happen. Now, did it not happen because of COVID? I don't know. But this travel was really, really, really important to that person. 21, so 3, acknowledging it. And 2, bringing it together, separating it. So it's separated. And at that point in time, I think that this person sort of gave up on spirit as well. The Holy Spirit or divine. It's like, you know what? Screw this. And this really rocked the world because the world was really basically coming together. It's sort of like somebody planned a really, really big vacation. I mean, like to another country or maybe countries, and that came to a halt. There was a disruption of it. And the reason why I think it's a vacation, for one, I'm getting goosebumps everywhere, but or a travel, put it this way. This was something that somebody was really looking forward to, and then it fell apart. I really believe it was probably during the pandemic. And this sort of made you lose hope in divine. And this was something that really rocked your world. And now you really don't want to hear anything about spirituality. However, part of you does. Part of you does, and you know that it wasn't that. You know, it wasn't divine that caused it. So, but it did rock your world. And here's the thing: a lot of the times, and being a travel agent, if this helps at all, you can go ahead and usually get that vacation back, or they hold it, or especially if COVID, that kind of a thing. But it's going to come back. You know, you just have to. If this is a travel that went awry, because I have friends that paid for a whole trip to Thailand for their whole family, and then COVID hit. And because they used a travel agent, they have the opportunity to, and they probably put the protection on it, or maybe they didn't put the protection on it, because a lot of people don't put the protection on it to flexibility because they don't want to pay that extra $49 or $99, and then things go awry, then you're stuck. However, if you do that, then you can have some flexibility. So, but there wasn't flexibility here, but I bet you that this is going to come back to you tenfold. It's going to definitely come back to you tenfold. And just be patient. Be patient. Keep focused again. Keep focused because right now is a lot of disruptions. These low vibrations want to come in because there's a conflict between control and truth. Control is untruth. So when you control, it's an illusion kind of a thing. So definitely. All right. So let's get some clarification here on the hawk. All right. So we have the Two of Swords, Judgment, and the Knight of Pentacles. Judgment and the Knight of Pentacles. So something very slow. So it's not coming in fast. So what is it that you need to decide? Somebody's on the fence of deciding. And again, here we go. If you look at the swords, and as soon as I saw the swords, it's control versus truth. Double-edged sword. So it is something about you having to keep control of something, or you need to really release it and let it go and see what happens. And that's truth. So that's absolute truth. That is not, and then you let the divine judge if it should come back or stay or whatever the outcome of it is. That's the message, is let the divine decide if it should stay, go, be there, not be there, that kind of a thing. All right. It is it definitely is going to move slow. There is something that you're trying to decide on, and it's not going to be a fast decision. It's going to be a really thoughtful decision. You're really going to have to figure this out, really plan. You really have to think about things, because this is definitely a transformation. This could be a really beautiful, beautiful thing. It's sort of like when you get a job, the dream job, and you move away and you're doing your own job and you're in a new place. It's really, really cool and exciting. That's what this could be for you. But you got to get off the fence and make a decision before anything can happen. This is a different energy. This is not the energy that lost, definitely lost something, either travel or money or something that was really going to take them places, because they had the world. I really think it had to do with travel, though. I really do. All right, so let's do love and relationships. Big energies is, be careful. The divine, or the divine can protect us so much, but boy, those energies, those low vibrational energies that want to come in, those can really rock your boat and mess up your world, especially if you're in a mindset of your human side and not the divine side. All right. Right now, I just do everything from the divine side. I'm very spiritual. Even my daughter's like, "Oh, go do your weird stuff." But she actually does watch and she does listen, but she really does believe in the divine. All right, so let's talk about love and relationships. Now, this could also be, love could be a relationship of, a couple, a romance couple. It could be friends. It could be maybe a friendship turning into a relationship. It could be interesting. It could be family members. However, most of the time we talk about relationships like love, kind of a thing. So we have the resting tree, we have patience, stillness, and the number 4. Or we have 2 double 2s, and you could really think about that is to bringing this partnership together or separating this partnership, whatever it is, this relationship. But I look at it as the number 4, which is creating a solid foundation. It's your core foundation. Looking at how you guys started, having the patience, because it is patience and stillness, to help each other, grow each other, know each other, take the time to sit and learn about each other and be patient in that process, because that's the resting tree. So when we are in the stillness of something and we have to sit and be patient, it is the hardest thing that we do in our life. It is so, so hard. But that is the most important time, because the divine works in the dark and when things are still. And he wants to see if you're going to be obedient. All right. Everybody's like, you keep saying he's an energy. I know he's an energy. So definitely. Right. Mediate and contemplate. This is definitely Jupiter and Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus energy. Definitely happening. You really need to listen, really pay attention, really analyze, really look at what's going on, and take a minute to be still in your relationship and really think, is this what I want? Especially when people ask each other to marry. It's like, can you imagine yourself with them 5 years, 10 years? Can you imagine yourself living without them? A lot of people like, well, I shouldn't have said yes, or maybe and then it's like, it was too late. I said yes. No, you can always change it. You can always go back. In fact, you should, if you weren't ready to get married, or put it off, or maybe wait and be still, because maybe it just wasn't ready. All right, so then I don't know why, but this one fell upside down. So this is in the reverse. And this is, you and your loved ones are safe. So that means that maybe something's a little bit unstable for somebody. In this patience, maybe there is something happening that you really need to listen to, because this is sort of an unstable time. So if you're having communication issues, that is the Mercury retrograde. It is going away. Maybe wait until the second week of July before you make any big decisions, because when it's gone, things are going to change a little bit. All right. So there's a little bit of unbalance in this relationship because there needs to be some growth. I think this is a new relationship. It needs some growth. It needs to have their own space. Basically, this person or couple needs to have their own space without outside disruptions. So what I mean by that is you two need to talk each other and share each other's heart back and forth, be vulnerable back and forth, and not listen to what everybody else's advice is, because they're not walking in your shoes. They're not walking in your journeys together. And you know what? When we end up maybe moving or whatever, they're gone. You're still living with this person. So really, really meditate and contemplate on what you're trying to move forward with, set goals with, that kind of a thing, because it's sort of unstable right now. And you want to grow that stability. Nothing wrong with anything of that's going on, because this is just progress. This is just transforming your relationship from one level to the other, and that is really good. But you got to keep the distractions down. You got to keep, this is low vibrational. This is like, yeah, let's bug them, let them get off focus, let's try to get them to bicker. We want to separate them because we have the number 2 and we have the number 4. You want to make it happen. But I would just say this is a number 4. Become more solid, become more a harder or deeper foundation. So those roots are really setting in, and that you really have each other's back. All right. So I hope this was helpful for you, Pisces. I will be back on the 5th of July. So I hope this was fun for you. I'm a little mellow today. Boy, the acupuncture really has me low. So, but please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and go watch the moon and retrograde video that I just did on June 22nd, I believe. So if you look in the videos or on the playlist, you'll find it under moons and retrogrades and stuff like that. So I hope you guys have a great, great week. And don't forget to walk in absolute truth and love. Take care, Pisces.